the 6 tips that will allow you to deal with angry people more effectively that you did not know about before today. Be it a husband and wife fighting, 2 children fighting at school, maybe a boss and his employee fighting. We see anger everywhere, yet we never learn how to deal with angry people. This is the main issue because this stuff is never taught to us. And today I'm going to break down and tell you 6 things that you can do to deal with angry people more effectively in order to have more harmonious relationships and be happy. That's so important. Keeping that in mind, remember that there are 5 things that you need to be aware of whenever you're dealing with angry people. And if you recognize that these 5 are the primary things that a person who is angry wants to, either get across or that you need to be aware of, then you can follow these 6 tips very, very easily. Keeping that in mind, here it is. Number 1, you need to know that someone who is angry, they need to be acknowledged. That's right. They want you to know that they are angry, that they are pissed off, and you have done something about it. Or someone else did something and now they're expressing it to you. So, it's important to know that acknowledge their anger. Recognize that they are upset, something has upset them, and now it is up to you to either listen or understand what is the point of view that they are trying to push across. And also, the second thing is that they do not want to be patronized. They do not want to be told that you need to calm down, you need to relax. This is so important. And the other thing is, they do not want to be told that they are coming across in a very angry tone. Hell, that's the whole issue. They have a communication issue, but that's a different thing. But here, they are coming full throttle. They do not want to be told to calm down and to reduce their tone and all of this stuff, because they are trying to break through and deliver a message to you. What is an angry person trying to do? All they're trying to do is convey something to you and break through, move forward, ultimately convey their message. Keeping all of this in mind, if you recognize all 5 of these components, that people are trying to communicate their anger the best way they know how to, or the best way that their brain tells them to, this will become much easier. Keeping that in mind, if you want to overcome your anger or deal with other angry people more effectively, do these 6 things. Number 1, tell them these 2 words. 2 words. If someone is angry with you, just tell them this: you're right. You are right. Of course, not in that tone. You're right. You are right. Come here. Let's sit down. I understand that I made you unhappy. Notice that I'm talking in the past tense, which already relates well to someone who is angry. I'm sorry I made you unhappy. Let's sit down and talk about it. I really think that I want to hear what you have to say, and so that I can help you and understand where you're coming from. Do you notice the body language as along with the tone that I'm using? When we do it in this fashion and you say the words, you're right, immediately the person loses all of their steam. Try it. Go out and try it. Comment down below and tell me if this works for you. Just go and tell people when they're angry at you that you're right. I'm sorry that I made you unhappy. Always frame it in the past tense so that they can lose all of their steam and you can move forward and get to the point at hand. What is the message that they are trying to communicate to you? Here's tip number 2. You need to learn how to count to 10. Remember, in the previous video, hit the I button, go watch that, when I was talking about why people get angry and the different kinds of anger. The entire chemical reaction that happens in the brain lasts only for about 10 to 20 seconds. So all you have to do is either count backwards from 5 to 1, take in a deep breath at the same time and let it out. Doing this simple thing allows the message that is being communicated to the emotional brain from the senses to reach the prefrontal cortex, and so that you can make a good decision, so that you can contain your anger in a much better way. Either count to 10 or even bite your lip, bite your tongue. There are a lot of methods to doing this. All you want to do is postpone as much as possible your explosion. You want to contain your anger as best as you can for those first 20 seconds. And once you do that, then the reaction itself would have died down. If there are people around you who are actually constantly getting angry, just tell them to contain themselves for about 20 seconds whenever they feel the need to react, and then tell them to respond in all of these other ways that will allow them to communicate themselves much better and keep both parties happy. Tip number 3, rise up. Rise up. Stand up if someone is trying to dominate you. If someone is dominating you in a conversation, you need to get up to their level. Let's say you're sitting down. You need to stand up and reach eye level with them. Because remember that in the primal brain, when we express our anger or aggression to someone else, when it comes from this angle, it tends to be a dominating force. And it can mask anything that we try to do after that, be it say something, try to talk some sense into them. However, once we reach eye level, we make eye contact and we stay at their level. We hold our own, then we can deal with them in a much better way. Such a simple thing to do, yet we fail to recognize these things. Body language plays an important role in reacting to anger as well. So do this and it'll help. The next thing that you can do, tip number 4, is providing a full stop. Once you have communicated the same information, you saw how I gave long pauses. You're right. I'm sorry I made you unhappy. Let's sit down and talk about it. I think we can come to a good conclusion. Is that okay? Notice the long pause. Full stops are so effective. Once you've communicated your message to the other person, shut up. Don't say anything more. Remember that they are trying to break through, and you do not want to react to that breakthrough by screaming back or creating more anger within them, adding more fire or adding more wood to the fire that's already burning really bright within them. Having said that, here's tip number 5. If you have been quiet for a length of time, contrary to what I just said, speak a little bit louder. Do not match the tone. However, try to make sure that you are heard by the other person. So be a little louder whenever someone is coming at you full throttle, so that they get the message across. So that you can say, hey, you're right. This works effectively too. And finally, the 6th tip that you need to know in order to deal with angry people, try to understand that they need to be specific. You want to be precise whenever you're dealing with angry people, because we don't know the reason why they are behaving this way. It always doesn't come off as this explosion. People might sometimes leave a note saying that I'm angry with you. People express anger in different ways. However, we want to get down to the root cause. Remember that we want to not associate anger with certain people, that, hey, you're an angry person, or this is an angry person that I need to deal with all the time. You want to isolate it to certain incidents. Why are you angry? What particular incident tipped you off to make you feel angry? Get down to the specifics and be precise. If you can be precise every time someone around you gets angry, then you can ultimately get to a resolution. You can conclude that, okay, this is what is this is what this person is going through. Okay, now let's try and find a solution. Makes sense? The thing is, Putting all of these 6 tips together, that creates the most powerful result. You want to understand why people get angry. You want to understand the different kinds of anger in different situations. Often we don't manage to deal with the anger of ourselves, or we deal with other angry people in the heat of the moment. We aren't as skilled as we should be to do that, and that's why allowing them to calm down, giving them a time out. This is a bonus tip. Give them a time out. Tip number 7. If you can actually allow them to go and cool down or escape the situation from where you're currently standing, move away. Separate yourself from that person. Allow those chemicals to die down. This will work for you. So give each other a time out. Move away from that person. If it's a hostile relationship, you're fighting with your spouse, you're unhappy with your kid for scoring low marks, you're unhappy with your employee, or you're unhappy with your boss, just distance yourself from each other, and later sit down. Once you've calmed down, talk about it. Try and understand where this person was coming from. Why did that person get angry? And now, what can we do about it? Always try to find out what you can do about it so that a resolution is reached. Otherwise, the anger just tends to continue over a long period of time. You want all of this to make sense, hit the I button. Go watch that video that I made on why people get angry in the first place. What are the chemical reactions that happen within the brain? And of course, the 3 different kinds of anger that I have detailed in that video. Go check it out and see how it can be applied to each of these 7 tips that I have now shared with you. If you found this video useful, hit the thumbs up button, comment down below, tell me what you want to see in future videos. Remember, I am dedicated to making you the best version of yourself. I want you to have an amazing 2019 coming up, and I really want you to go places. We are going to make an entire list of different things when it comes to actually dealing with different kinds of people in our lives, because people buy from people, and if we are really what we say we are in terms of being social animals, we need to acknowledge this. So if you're looking for more stuff like this, all about psychology and becoming the best version of yourself, performing like a champion, subscribe, hit those bell notifications so that you never miss another video. This is Vikram signing off, and I will see you in the next session.